How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the Eclectic Improvement podcast. So in this episode today, I would like to discuss why exercise is so important to the self-improvement journey. For some people, they may not exactly understand why it is so important to move your body in order to train your body physically. Some people may believe perhaps that it is a waste of time, or that it is too painful or it's too difficult to really be worth it in the grand scheme of things. And so in this episode today, I would like to discuss why it is so important and the general benefits that everybody can experience with exercising, whether that goal is just being healthy, gaining muscle, losing fat, whatever it may be. Exercise is important for everybody. And if you have the capability of doing it, you should be doing it, period. So the number one most important benefit that exercise can give you is that it gives you confidence and it gives you the opportunity to really live out your ideal when it comes to having the body that you want to have, to look however you want to look like. And what people may want is not going to be the same for everybody. For some people, they want to look muscular. For some people, they want to look more skinny. Some people want a body that's in between, that is lean with a little bit of muscle, and it's just a plain athletic look. And for some people, they may have more specific goals. Whatever it may be, these goals and having these pursuits, these worthy pursuits, for your body, or even some people, they just want to perform well in a certain sport, or they want to be able to move around better. For some people, they exercise because they want to prolong their life. Whatever your goal or your intention may be with exercise, having that intention and having that goal, and then systematically working towards it in order to achieve what you want to achieve, and then finally achieving it and knowing that you made the necessary sacrifices. You made sure to eat healthier. You made sure to get rid of the junk food. You made sure to get plenty of sleep, take care of yourself. You made sure to give it 100% whenever you're exercising and to show up consistently and frequently. When you do this, it gives you confidence. It helps you build up your self-image because you realize now that you are somebody who is worthy of good things. You are worthy of good results because you have put in the necessary work to make it happen. Because you did the work, you deserve it. And this only compounds the more goals that you achieve along your fitness journey. And so I simply cannot understate the importance of how exercising can make you more confident. And when you look in the mirror, you realize that you really earned it and that this accomplishment is something worthy of celebrating. I remember when I started exercising, it was 2015. I was a freshman in high school. I started out as a very skinny, unathletic kid. I was very nerdy. I enjoyed playing video games and, browsing the internet and stuff like that. I enjoyed more very sedentary, technological related activities more than I did any physical training. And in fact, I was in much worse shape than my dad, who is much older than me, who is a runner. And I remember when I was younger, when I was 13, 14, I would try to go on runs with him, and I was not able to keep up with him. I would have to, say, Dad, stop. I have to walk. This run is killing me. I'm hurting all over and I'm breathing too hard and I can't keep going. And isn't that crazy to think? My dad has gray hair on his head. He's much, much older than me. And here's me, a 13-year-old kid, and I am not even able to move my body by just running. And even walking was a little bit painful for me, was a little bit difficult for me. I was severely out of shape despite, being skinny. I was very skinny. I had so little muscle that you could count how many ribs I had. Like I had no pectoral muscles, as so to speak of, at that time. To see myself from back then and to see myself now, starting freshman year in high school, I joined the cross country and the track teams. I was doing that for a good few years, and also on the side, I was learning about lifting weights. I started experimenting with different training styles, and I started to build some muscle for the first time. Even though it didn't necessarily make me as confident as I am today, it was the first steps. It was the first stepping stone to my self-improvement journey and for me to become a more confident individual. I was able to walk around feeling less weak. I was able to walk around knowing that I have the capability of working hard, not just physically, but also mentally, because when you exercise, the mentality is more important than the physicality, because it is hard work. Oftentimes it is painful. And when you are able to push through that pain barrier and to accept whatever difficulties come to you, when you make that choice to persist and to keep going, this is what is going to help you build discipline. This is what is going to help you realize that you have the capability of working hard in any area of life, whatever it may be, whether it be at work, at school, when it comes to handling other necessary tasks in your life, you are able to conduct yourself in a good manner and be disciplined and follow through and get the work done. And knowing that you won't quit at the first sign of discomfort. You need to chase discomfort. This is necessary for growth. By exercising, it does a great deal in that regard. And so the secondary benefit, exercise actually makes you smarter. A lot of people aren't talking about this when they discuss the benefits of exercise. With it being of more of a physical nature, it oftentimes, that mental aspect, that neural aspect is often neglected when people talk about the benefits. People talk about how they want to get bigger muscles, how they want to lose fat, how they want to get bigger arms or perform better in a certain sport, or get a bigger ass or get a flatter stomach or something like that. And people don't talk about the mental benefits of exercise. People often have this conception that there's two types of people in this world. There's nerds and there's jocks. There's smart but physically weak people, and then there's like these very athletic but very dumb individuals. There's often this stereotype. You see it in movies, for example, and you see people kind of talk about it, and they create this like clear separation between these two types of individuals. In reality, the world is much more complex than this, and there is nothing stopping you from becoming more intelligent, from becoming more educated, and also becoming stronger physically and becoming more capable physically. You can do both. You just have to put in the work. When you look at it, you see ancient civilizations, Greece, for example, the philosophers, they prized exercise, and they were always talking about the benefits of physical training, and they were very involved in exercise. I am a believer of this philosophy as well. I do not think that there needs to be such a clear separation between people. You can be intelligent, you can be an intellectual, and you can still be physically in shape. There is nothing stopping you. whatever ideas that have evolved in modern society, wherever they may have originated from, they are not relevant today when it comes to people thinking that you can only be one or the other. You can either be smart or you can be strong. Why not be smart and strong? And what people don't realize is that there are actually neurological benefits. So when you look at the science, exercise increases levels of BDNF, also known as brain-derived neurotrophic factor within the brain, which helps you in learning. It helps you with mental activities and intellectual activities. And there have also been research showing that when kids in school, prior to exams, when they exercise, when they play, when they go to recess or they're performing at a sport, whatever physical activity it may be, even walking has a benefit. When their bodies are more active, and then they sit down and then they perform at a exam, their exam scores actually increase. So in many ways, exercise does make you smarter. It does not only make you stronger, it also makes you smarter. And a lot of people aren't talking about this. So when it comes to the best type of exercise for increasing cognition, I recommend doing cardio. So lifting weights does increase BDNF, but the research has shown, at least so far, that when you do cardiovascular types of activities, so for example, you do stuff like swimming or running or cycling, whether it be more like a slower, longer forms of cardio, or it be high intensity interval training, HIIT, whatever it may be, cardiovascular related types of activities, those are the activities that increase BDNF the most. For me personally, I recommend that you have a good variety. Strength training is very important. I think most people should do it, and doing cardio as well is very essential, and it is just great for heart health, is great for brain health. So whatever you want to do, you can do it. And also, I'll also say this, martial arts is also a great way of challenging yourself physically and challenging yourself when it comes to cardiovascular capacity. I know for me, that when I am training Muay Thai, I think these benefits can also be seen in kickboxing or boxing as well. Oftentimes the training involves jumping rope, some sparring, punching, kicking the bag, doing intervals of that. That can be very challenging and taxing on the body. And when you train Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu as well, what I've noticed when it comes to those grappling sports, when you're going live, when you're rolling against a resisting opponent, this can also be a very challenging exercise. And I know that, for me, after training Jiu-Jitsu, after training Muay Thai, I often have my moments where, it feels like I'm running out of breath. I'm very challenged, just cardiovascular wise, with the training that I'm doing. And so that's also a great way to get some good cardio in. And so the third benefit, and probably the most obvious benefit of exercise, is that it improves your health, whether that be physically or mentally. When it comes to the physical aspect, exercise helps you with managing your weight. It helps you improve a lot of the everyday processes that your body goes through. It helps optimize those processes. It helps reduce your resting heart rate, helps you sleep better at night. It helps improve your bone health. It helps strengthen your muscles. It helps you breathe much easier. And I could go on with the physical benefits. In pretty much every area of life, exercise is going to benefit you one way or another. And when it comes to the mental health aspect of things, people also don't realize this. This is also another underrated benefit of exercise, is that it improves your mental health. It makes you much more calm. It makes you much more relaxed. It helps reduce symptoms of depression and anxiety. And in general, it just sets you at ease much more. And as I said previously, when you are exercising, your confidence goes up, especially as you accomplish goals, but also during the process of accomplishing those goals, when you're putting in the work consistently and you see yourself making those micro achievements, it improves your self-esteem and it improves your self-image. And when you look in the mirror, you begin to become more proud of the person that you see in the mirror, because you know that you deserve the results that you are getting, and that cannot be understated enough. And by exercising for the purpose of improving your mental health, this is going to have a cascading effect throughout your life. When you become more confident in yourself, when you are able to become happier, and that's also another benefit of exercising, is that, it just helps you feel happier in general. And there's a certain endorphin rush that you get from physical training, especially when it's intense. It helps just kind of increase the amount of serotonin within the brain. And so your sense of well-being increases. And when you work out for the sake of mental health and you do something that you enjoy, you have a hobby that you can look forward to, and you're doing that consistently, and you keep doing it until you start to see results, then this can help pull you out of a rut. This can help give you hope in life, to know that whatever issue you may have in life, you can make a plan and you can follow through with that plan, and you can do the work that is necessary in order to get the right circumstance that you want. You can pull yourself through any painful struggle that you may experience. You have that hope that things are on the upside. Even if you're struggling everywhere else in life, if you can start by exercising and begin to see progress with that, and it doesn't have to be fast. It does not have to be fast. It can be a slow, gradual process that is not so much of a shock to your system, just doing something that you can be consistent with every day. And when you slowly see those results, this can give you the hope that you can improve in other areas of your life, that you are not stuck where you're at, that you do not have to be in a rut for the rest of your life. You can pull out of it. And I know for me personally, I have used exercise as a way to relieve my past social anxieties. For me, I grew up with major social anxiety, and oftentimes it was even hard for me to just sit still in class sometimes, because I'd be worrying too much about how other people may judge me on the most minute of things. And in general, I just went through a terrible time in my life during my adolescence. I used exercise as a way to cope, and it has always been an effective method for me to become calmer and to relax more, because I have an outlet for that energy. I have an outlet for all that anxiety, and I can run really hard. I can lift the heaviest weights that I can possibly do, with good form that is, and exhaust myself until I'm going to failure, stretch afterwards, and then take a shower, and then at that point I'm just completely relaxed. I'm feeling that endorphin rush. I'm feeling the relaxation effect. The energy is outside of my system, and so now I'm a lot more relaxed, and I can go about the rest of my day completely calm, and then I can go to bed and sleep easier at night because I do not have this energy saved within me. And so, as a side tangent to that, energy is so important in life, guys. Energy is so important. And when you realize the importance that this has, and channeling your energy no matter what type of energy it is, everything is energy. You can have anxious energy. You can have angry energy. You can have happy, hopeful energy. You have all these different types of energies within your body, within your mind. And when you can channel your emotions, when you can channel your feelings, and you channel it towards a productive avenue, this can have immense benefits because it gives you an outlet. You can leverage what you have in order to become a more successful, more accomplished individual. And exercise is one of the most primal ways that you can do it because you're moving your body and you're physically expressing yourself with that energy, and you're giving yourself that outlet, that place where it can go. And afterwards, you feel calm and you feel satisfied with yourself. And in future episodes, I will continue to discuss that, the importance of energy, the different types of energy that are out there, and what I've done and what you can do to leverage that within your life. And so with all that being said, I've discussed plenty of benefits when it comes to exercise, when it comes to physical training, and why it's so important. But realize that I've only scratched the surface here. There are so many other benefits out there that I have not mentioned, but those are some of the most important in my opinion. And realize that exercise will help you in all areas of life. I don't care what it is. You will experience benefits in every single area of your life if you decide to exercise on a regular basis. Now, with all that being said, what type of exercise should you do if you're unsure? If you don't know exactly what you want to do exercise-wise, because there's so many activities out there. There's lifting weights, there's stuff like yoga and Pilates and martial arts, and there's different types of cardio and rock climbing and just different types of sports that are out there. With all the different options that are out there, how can you decide what you want to do? How can you decide what types of activities would be the most optimal for you? So the first thing that I'll say is that the most beneficial type of exercise for you is the one that you like enough to be consistent with it. I think the reason why so many people are inconsistent with their exercise, the reason why they don't enjoy exercise, quote unquote, is because they just have not found something that they like. With all the different types of training that are out there, you're bound to find something that you like. And when you find that one thing or those two things, stick to it. You know, you don't have to force yourself to do what everyone else is doing if you don't want to do it. If you don't want to play football, but you'd rather play basketball, then go ahead and play basketball. There's nothing stopping you. If you don't enjoy team sports in general and you want to lift weights or go for a run instead, you should go ahead and do that. You just need to find what is the best option for you according to your current circumstances, what you can afford, what works best with your personality type, and then going along with that. So as a general recommendation, again, it's going to be different, depending from individual to individual. But if you're more of an introverted person, I recommend looking more into solo activities. So for example, lifting weights at the gym just on your own, or going for a run, anything that does not really involve you being in a team and having other people depending on you and all that, just letting yourself do the work and then letting your hard work shine. That's probably going to be the best type of exercise for you. And there's all types of different things that you could be doing, whether that be yoga, lifting, running, swimming, rock climbing, whatever it may be. Just research those different types of activities and find what is best for you, because this podcast would be several hours long, if I were to list all the different activities that you could do. Now, if you're more of an extrovert, then I would recommend that you do more team-based activities, more social activities. So again, I'm always going to recommend martial arts. And, even for me as an introvert, I still enjoy martial arts for the social aspect of it. And I'm very sure that extroverts as well would enjoy that social aspect of training as well, because you get to meet all types of different people and you get to train with them. And oftentimes you're going to be meeting new people on a regular basis, and this is going to help you make new friends and to practice your social skills. So I like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Muay Thai myself, so those are what I'm going to recommend. MMA is also great as well. And also, if you're an extrovert, team sports, I think, would be a great thing for you to pursue, whether that be baseball, basketball, volleyball, whatever it may be, football, and anything that involves a team, and your rugby also as well. Any sport that you do where you're in a team, you're working together, people are depending on you, and you're with a group of people training all the time, then that's probably going to be the most rewarding type of exercise for you as an extrovert. So with those general recommendations out of the way, one thing to also look at is to decide, what do you want the most out of it? Besides general health, you can get good general health benefits from any type of exercise, but what do you want specifically out of it? Do you want to look a certain way? Do you want to learn self-defense skills? Do you want to participate in a certain sport and compete? Have you found it really interesting to watch it and you want to give it a try? Do you want your body to function better in a particular way? When you can narrow things down that way, then you can start to really find out what type of exercise is the best for you. So if you want to, for example, look more muscular, then lifting weights, doing calisthenics can really help you. And if you want to lose weight, lose fat in general, then lifting weights can also help you. But a lot of people will also do cardio for fat loss, and they find that it's really good. And so what I recommend is training with high intensity interval training, also known as HIIT. This is a great way of doing cardio where you're doing essentially all out intervals, coupled with rest periods, or just periods where you'll be doing low intensity, alternating between low intensity, high intensity, or alternating between high intensity and resting. So some examples of this include hill sprints. This is one of my favorite types of cardio to do when I'm trying to build up my conditioning. So essentially, what I do personally, some people may do it differently. What I do is I sprint up the hill. I just find a steep hill wherever I can, usually at the park. And then I sprint up the hill, walk down, sprint back up, rinse, wash, and repeat. And some people will kind of do it for sets and reps. You can do 3 sets of 6 reps when it comes to hill sprint. So you do it 6 times, up and down, and you kind of jog your way back down. You rest after the 6th one, do it again for a second set, rest, 3rd set, you're done. And so that's a great way of training. You can also do this on treadmills. You could do this with cycling, and you just have to adjust your settings, or just adjust how you move. And so I highly recommend high intensity interval training, because not only does it take up less time during your day, but also it has an afterburn effect when it comes to your calories. So with some types of exercise, you just burn calories during the activity itself, and then you don't have much of a calorie burn afterwards. But the great thing about high intensity interval training is that after you train, you actually burn calories while you're resting for the next following hours. And so not only are you burning a ton of calories when you're training, but you're also burning while resting and recovering from the activity, which is a great effect if you want to, lose weight and burn fat. This is one of the best ways to do it. But A lot of people also enjoy the lower intensity training where you're just going for a walk, you're going for a jog, you're just kind of riding your bike kind of casually. This is also a great form of exercise. It does take more time, but one of the greatest benefits of it is that it's less taxing on the body. And so it's very, very easy to recover from. And, it's a great way to build up your cardiovascular capacity without putting much stress on the body. So I also recommend that as well. It's just about finding what you want to do and sticking with it. And of course, if you want to perform well at a particular sport, or you want to try out a certain sport that you've been watching for a while, then I highly recommend just going in and giving it a try, whatever that sport may be. And so one thing I would also like to discuss is if you want to learn how to fight, you want to learn how to defend yourself in certain situations, then training martial arts is a great form of activity, and I cannot understate how beneficial it has been for me personally. And I highly recommend it to everybody. I think that it is a great way of exercising that is not only just highly social, but it's also a great way to learn how to defend yourself. You kind of learn the movements of your body and you become more in tune with that. And in addition, you also build a form of self-confidence that comes from knowing that you possess some skills to defend yourself. I'll talk about this more in depth in a future episode, but just know that martial arts is a great form of exercise if you're looking for something that is fun, but also teaches you some practical skills as well. So I'm currently training Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Muay Thai. I think I mentioned that previously. And so those are what I recommend personally. I also think that MMA is also great if you want to get like an all-around experience with striking and grappling both. So definitely look into that if you are interested. I hope this podcast episode has helped you understand why exercise is so beneficial. Hopefully it has given you some motivation to continue or start training, helped you kind of establish a plan as to the best way that you can exercise, giving you some ideas when it comes to activities that you may want to introduce to your routine. And with all that being said, I hope you all have a great day. Thank you for checking out the Eclectic Improvement podcast. So in this podcast, I discuss self-improvement in all areas of life, becoming your best self in all areas of life. Because for me, it's not just about making money. It's not just about the physical training. It's not just about improving your mental health. It's not just about academics. It's not just about one aspect. It's all about having that well-rounded experience and skill set to become your healthiest version and to live a well-rounded life where, yes, you can specialize in certain things and have certain important skills that are needed. But in addition, you also live the best life that you can possibly live happiness-wise, because a balanced life is necessary for that. You need to work hard, but you also need to rest. You need some time alone to reflect, but you also need some time to socialize and be with people. And so that's what Eclectic Improvement is all about. And so if you agree with this philosophy or would like to learn more about it, then definitely subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow this podcast. I'm on Spotify or wherever else podcasts can be found. I upload a new episode every Sunday. So with that being said, thank you for listening today, and I hope that you gain something of value from this episode. Thank you.